Well, it's a lovely morning in Reno. As you can hear the construction, probably wondering why I don't just go inside the office. Want to take a guess? It's because my husband was sweet enough to drive me to work, and I was in such a hurry to leave the house, thinking I didn't need my car keys because, well, he's driving me to work. I'm not going to need my keys to drive, right? So I grabbed my wallet and my cell phone. That was it. And I left the house and I was chit-chatting my husband's ear off all the way to here. And he gets to the driveway here, drops me off, sweet as he was. And then I realized, how am I going to open the door to the office if I don't have my keys? So I'm enjoying the beautiful morning on the porch here, since my business that I work for is here in a beautiful old house that overlooks the street out in downtown Reno. I figure I'll just take a seat here on the porch. They have lovely patio furniture. They even have a chair swing, but it's kind of too low for me. So anyways, not to bore you guys, but since we're at a funeral home, I've been thinking about this. I'm sure there's a lot of things you guys don't know about what happens after somebody dies, and it's not a fun thought to think about, but think about it. Okay, these are the things that I get asked a lot when working here, and even when I was working at the hospital and managing the morgue. One thing that people always do is they call and they say, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what's supposed to happen. What's going to happen to my mother, my father, my husband, my wife. And they don't really understand what planning entails after somebody passes away. First and foremost, if you completely abandon the body, it's not free. You can be that kind of family and just say, well, the hospital can take care of it. No, the hospital doesn't take care of it. The hospital does not even do the cremation. That's a big misconception. A lot of people think that if somebody dies at a hospital, that the hospital will just cremate the body for you. No, the hospital never handles the disposal of the body. They pass the body off to a funeral home or a mortuary, and they have to do the cremation or burial. Even then, here's another thing that people don't realize. A funeral home or mortuary cannot do a cremation or burial without permission from somebody. If that somebody is the family, be you guys, you would have to sign an authorization for that funeral home or mortuary to proceed with what you wish them to do. Here's another fun fact. You don't get a death certificate from the hospital. You don't get a death certificate from the mortuary. You get the death certificate from the state. And the only way you're going to get anything from the state is if you pay for it. So we got these families a lot of times. I don't want to say a lot of times. There's a lot of good families out there. I mean, they want to take care of mom and they want to put her to rest properly. But you do get those families far and few in between with this sense of entitlement. The sense of entitlement that I'm talking about is where, say mom dies, right? I get the call from a family member, usually a daughter. Sorry, ladies. I mean, I don't know why women tend to be so snarky on the phone. Guys can be jerks too, but usually it's the women that have that uppity attitude. I don't know what it is, but they'll call me and they'll say, look, I don't have the money to bury mom, but I need the death certificates. When can I pick them up? You can't. First of all, the information on a death certificate is a lot like a birth certificate. It's going to have their full name, their social security number, even the names of your mother and your father on it, and all your pertinent information like your address, your spouse, all that stuff. Whether you were married, divorced, widowed, or never married, I mean, it's going to have all that information. And the state usually gets that information from a mortuary. So because it's usually the mortuary's job to start the process of picking up the body from the hospital or wherever they died and collecting that information with the paperwork of the authorization to cremate or bury, and then get that information like the social security number, the person's full name, even a copy of their ID if possible, and fill out a form to submit to the state. And then the doctor will also submit their information to the state as to how the person died. All that gets put on the death certificate. The cause of death will be at the bottom of the death certificate. The top of the death certificate will be the person's information. All that has to be provided by the family. If you don't provide it, it'll be put as unknown, and the state will log it in their system. They will not print a death certificate and have it just floating around waiting for somebody to come pick it up. No. You will have to pay for services of the decedent. Generally, if the state does not know what religion the person is, they will go ahead and bury the body, just in case it's of Jewish religion, I believe, or the Jewish religion does not cremate. Otherwise, if the person is of non-denominational or Catholic or whatever, and it is okay to move forward with cremation religiously, the state will pay to cremate the body. However, some people think they're slick, and they're gonna say, well, I'll just wait till cremation is done, and then I'll go get the death certificate. Well, you'll have to reimburse the state before you get anything. And here's another misconception I get all the time. It was my son. It's my husband. I want to see him. I have every right to go and see him wherever he is. And okay, stop right there. I understand that your loved one is your loved one. Your son, your husband, your loved one. And when they were alive, they were yours. They were your loved one. Once they are dead, how's a nice way to say this? They are a biohazard that needs to be protected by the state. It's a dead body. The person is no longer there. That means the state has to make sure and ensure that the body is in a properly stored place so as to not contaminate anything. Think of it as raw chicken meat. I mean, you don't leave that out in your bedroom just because your beloved chicken dies. You have to dispose of it properly or store it properly in the right amount of time. Once a body goes into refrigeration, does not stop decomposing, it just slows it down. It's going to get kind of raunchy from here. A lot of people want to go and see mom or see dad, and I don't care what he looks like, and yeah, it's not about what they look like. It's about the bodily fluids that are piling up at the bottom of the bedpan, and you want to go stick your face over that. First of all, it's not that the smell is unpleasant. It's that the smell can become toxic and unbearable. You ever see those movies where people wipe that little thing under their nose when they're working on a dead body? There's a reason for that. Some of those acids and fluids in the body no longer gets held in because all the muscles relax, and it's laying in the bedpan. And to be fair, I want to say 50% of the bodies don't even look like that person anymore. There's swelling, there's deflating, there's all kinds of things that happen. The skin no longer holds its structural integrity anymore. Just know that if a funeral home is telling you that, like, for you to go in and into their cooler and just see mom and see dad, there's a reason. It's not that they're just trying to hold out on you. It's more of a biohazard reason. Please be understanding. This is probably one of the most boring videos I have ever made because even I'm getting bored with it. But I have all these things that I was sitting there thinking about at home, like, God, I wish people knew this. I wish I knew this before anything. A lot of things that people don't understand. are just things that need to be educated on. So I'm gonna get going and get some coffee, wait for my coworker to arrive, and start work. So I hope this boring video didn't put y'all to sleep. So I love you guys. I hope you're loving each other, and as always, stay salty.